How's everybody doing today this Monday morning? Let me get a quick sound check just so that I know everyone can hear me loud and clear. Got the whole crowd with us today. Chris, John, JJ, Akira, Kathy, great to see you. Fran, big capital letters from him. Good. I love to see that. Loud and clear from Ted. Perfect. How was everybody's weekend? What did everybody do? Anything exciting out there? Molto bene from Andrea. Perfect. Anything exciting, guys? Had a pretty relaxing weekend myself. Not too much going on, so I can't say much. I can say the beach though, right? Ron, Andrea, perfect. Likewise. And just like Amy said too, kayaking. I took a kayak trip yesterday actually, about an hour away from me here in Long Island. Not too bad. Football from John and the soccer variety too. Phil went to the fair. Okay, very nice. All right, good. Good to see that everybody had a pretty good weekend here. Let's do some quick housekeeping first, then we'll do the morning usual. We'll do the rundown from last week, and we'll look to see what may be worth watching for today. A couple of quick housekeeping notes first, though, guys. Keep in mind from last week, our entries and exits workshop. It's already on your dashboard here, so it's under the Cybergroup Gold workshops for any of our Cybergroup Gold members or enrolled students, Gold, Platinum, Diamond. What you could do is click on top here where it says My Cybergroup and click where it says Access Workshops. From there, you could scroll through the archive, and the latest one under Stock Trading Workshops should be right there with me. All right, so that was from last week. If you missed it, again, it's on your dashboard right there. Alongside with that, keep in mind, of course, this week and alongside next week as well, we're beginning the entire stock trading curriculum that we do every month. So, of course, tomorrow and Wednesday, we're beginning with phase 1, the introductory course. We'll be beginning those classes Tuesday. Of course, tomorrow, August 22nd, 10:35 a.m. Eastern Time is the first morning class. From there, it goes into 3 p.m. the afternoon. Those are the two class times for this week, both for phase 1 and for phase 2. So again, 10:35, and then from there 3 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Finally, last tidbit, last housekeeping note, guys. I know Ken just asked about Traders Talk. So if you guys recall last week in Traders Talk, during the for those of you that were there live, I had asked everybody if everyone could see my screen. I had a big issue with my computer. All of my monitors were kind of flashing. It was a weird crash on my computer. Everything loaded on my screen. I had TradeStation running still afterwards. I had the trading room. We resumed Traders Talk fine, but I didn't realize that it closed down Open Broadcast software. This recorder right here that's recording the morning meeting right now. So for that reason, I thought that everything was status quo, and at the end of it all, I realized that it didn't record the rest of the Traders Talk. So I apologize, guys. Traders Talk last week won't be on the dashboard. I don't know what the issue may be with that computer. That was the first time during a live class that was recorded, at least, that we had seen that. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. We're just gonna hope that it doesn't, and then from there we'll go as usual. But again, though, sorry if you had missed out on Traders Talk last week. We didn't have a chance to record it properly. Hopefully this week there won't be any issues. All right. All right, so that's enough housekeeping for one morning. It's already 9:10, so let's run down from last week what was pretty hot. Hopefully, a couple of those stocks are still worth watching for today, and then we'll run down the top percent gainers and losers. All right, for Friday though, we did fairly well. I gotta say, for a slow late August Friday, we really did pretty well. We'll start off with Foot Locker, the big short that we caught from Friday. Big gap down from 46 or so, all the way down towards a low of right around 40, and it was breaking lower lows going into the market open there. So once it opened up, I mean, this thing fell for about $1.50 down towards the $35 support level here. Held above there at first, but then from there lower lows and closed around the low. So what do we know and what do we go over in phase 1, guys? Well, a stock that trades at or around the low of the day likely opens up lower, whether it's the pre-market such as right now for Foot Locker or the regular market open. We usually do see it dip and make a lower low at some point from there. So it already did that. 146,000 shares in pre-market so far. Good volume still. I'll still ride the wave on Foot Locker here. I still feel as if it can make a big move, at least maybe 50 cents, maybe a dollar. So I like the volatility that it carries. Maybe a little pricey, but we'll put it on the morning list to start things off. All right, from there, again, we had pretty much variety for everybody here. SPWH was a cheap stock. It was a slow-moving stock for the most part, compared to some of the cheap runners that we usually catch in the trading room. So for what it's worth, this was more of a level 2 stock, and it felt as if it was up a lot of our alleys as traders in terms of skill level and volatility. It wasn't really something that shook you out too often. This was a nice pop right away over the pre-market highs of $4.15. Beautiful trend, higher highs on this as this was testing and pushing through $4.50 here. So, again, nice 70-cent run for the most part, up towards 490 high of the day or 480 high of the day there. Even right now, pushing up, breaking over $4.50. This run may not be over yet. I like the buying volume that we saw here at first. The fact that if it can hold support and make a higher low on the chart, I would like to see this make a second run towards that high. So, again, SPWH, we'll put this one back on, we'll put it on the side list to start. Pre-market does look a little bit light, so I should see that one back on the main list going into the open there, but we'll look to see if there's anything else. The HMNY, again, similar situation, lower volume right now. This was a stock across the last couple of days that we've been trading, and this was pushing down with lower lows at first. But off of $2.50, we saw a big volume spike going into the 17th last week, pretty much in the afternoon time, which carried this up towards 290 high, and then from there in the pre-market the next day, or post-market, I should say, nice pop again. So that's what's kind of been attracting us to this trade now. We saw the lower lows. Now we're seeing higher highs, higher lows. So hopefully if this breaks through, this could be another, 20, 30-cent run that we can catch. So I'm hopeful for this one for this morning, but as of right now, again, a little low in the volume. I'll hold off on it for right now. All right, then finally, last one, a stock that is on the watch list for today already. I already see it on the top percent gainers list, number 2. The JMEI, very nice, slow, steady trend for the most part off of 3. Made a beautiful 70-cent run on the day, but within the first 2 hours of this, you were able to catch about 2/3 of that move, if not more, as this went from 3 upwards towards 350 major resistance. From there, backed off. The volume dipped down a little bit, but nice gradual uptrend from there going into the afternoon for a Friday. So pretty successful Friday afternoon, whereas normally a lot of these market makers like to take off and start the weekends early. Again, that doesn't stop us from trying to catch a couple opportunities. We just have to be more selective about it. All right, so JMEI, I like this one in the morning. Of course, it needs to make a breakout over that 4. We had a big iceberg order on the ask earlier. It was at $3.99. Oh, still there, 13,000 shares. All right, so we'll put JMEI on the list, though, to start. All right, so let's run down the list. Again, this one already made it, so we'll start with number 3 here, WUBA. Beautiful gap up here. If you have the pockets to trade it, I would put it on the watch list. It's just pretty expensive, so I'll put it on the side for right now. I don't like putting too many expensive stocks on the list if none of us really tend to trade it. Doesn't really make sense. Herbalife, similar situation. Nice run up immediately here. I'm sure news just came out on them. I'm not really up to date on Herbalife nowadays. I always see them on CNBC. They're always talking about Bill Ackman, Herbalife. Icon agrees not to acquire more than 50% of Herbalife shares for 2 years following the buyback. All right. So obviously that prompted a nice spike up in the HLF. But for right now, again, similar circumstance, pretty expensive stock. I'd much rather trade a $10, $15 stock, if anything. Obviously, lower cost. If it still makes the same monetary move, I would love to see it. So, THC. Ooh, it's funny. I forgot to mention this one, and this was one of the better trades that we caught from Friday. I called this one out right away, guys, off of the 350 level, and that's where I entered this trade at first. 500 shares, 1352. I was actually looking at the dip first towards 1325, and I got sidetracked. Just too much going on yesterday or on Friday morning for a slow Friday. So, I missed the dip here, but I caught the 1350 level. Nice run up towards 1440 high. And then from there, obviously, beautiful gap up this morning and running up even higher. So THC, 77,000 shares. This should make the top of the watch list. I like this one. Great setup, nice trend. Kind of reminds me of Square when this was pushing up at all-time highs. Obviously, different situation as this was getting crushed across the last 52 weeks, but it kind of reminds me of that on the intraday. All right, FCAU, beautiful gap up. I don't know what the news is, but good volume, nice gap up here. We'll put it on there. More of a level one stock, heavy volume. DCTH, quote-unquote penny stock. All right, then we're already in the 5% category, so let's hop over to the losers. The RTMB, again, a beautiful cheap stock. This is the volatility that we usually see out of a cheap runner like this. Stock went from 80 cents upwards towards 250. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that, but what goes up comes right back down twice as fast, and from there stays down. So, can this make a second run maybe towards 150 based off the volatility? It can, but I'm going to hold off for right now. Fran, F-R-A-N, down $1 to start the day. 21,000 shares for the price of the stock. I wish it had more volume to it, but I'll put it on the watch list. There we go, Ron. FCAU, rumor of a buyout. So if it's not a real buyout, then I will put it on the watch list. We know that buyouts, official buyouts, don't move, but you know the saying, of course, buy on rumors, sell on news. So hopefully that can make a further push. All right, our RADA from last week, nice, beautiful trend on the daily chart here finally. I was watching this actually back from last December, Israeli defense stock. So I was figuring that was going to be hot at some point. Nice big run, backed off today, down about 9%. I'll put it on the watch list. I do like the volume across on, at least from Thursday on this, as this was pushing up from that level off of 240, 250-ish here. So if that can make a pop and break back over 250 and hold, maybe that's the beginning of the second run here for REDA. All right. Anything else? INFY, nice gap down. Again, this was a stock from Friday that we traded, gap down in pre-market that day, sunk lower, closed out pretty weak, pretty flat, and now obviously a gap down further. Like Ken T, I saw him point out big volume on this. So we'll put it on there. What's the pre-market low right now? 1390. So I would like to see this breakdown below 1390, make a lower low first before going short potentially. Otherwise, if this can hold support, see higher lows, then maybe we could see this squeeze up towards 1450 at first. Can't ask for this to fill the entire gap. And you also have strong resistance likely at 1450 based off the chart yesterday. Held really nicely going into the late morning there. All right, ZN, nah, gonna pass, and that looks to be about it. Anything else out there, guys, on the watch list? Anything that I missed that you would like for me to call out? I know that JMEI is already making a push towards that 4 again, so that's probably where your eyes should be going into the open. Cheap stock, gapped up, held support from the highs from Friday. If it can break out over 4 with big volume, we could see this fly. So, CNIT from JJ. Ooh, good one. I like it. 46,000 shares, 15%. I thought it was a stock trading in those 5-cent ticks for a moment, but it is not. You could see resistance at 126 or 125-ish on the ask. Obviously, it needs to break over 120 first. Definitely going to make the watch list. Good call. 120 high. Let's see the high from here, back from June 8th or June 9th. 118 high. Right now, testing 118. So you can see how strong of a level that is going into the morning. That's something that we go over in phase 2, and we'll be going over this week in phase 2 as far as the pre-market protocol, where to look on the charts, and something like that is a good example of really strong resistance. So that's something to look at. All right, guys. So CNIT will make the list. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stocks to put on the watch list so far. We'll check back with the SPWH. That one was looking pretty good. Nice rounded bottom off of the low in the post market yesterday. Would like to see this make a breakout. So see this make a break over resistance here, $4.65. It looks like it was holding there nicely from Friday. So we'll put that on there as well. So 3, 6, 9 stocks to put on the list this morning, guys. Not bad at all for a Monday. So it looks like we have a lot to go around. About 9 minutes left too. So I would like everyone to make sure that they have enough time to get ready, be prepared going into the open. All right, guys. So let's work well together as a team here. I'll be back on here for new members here, just so you know, the second audio broadcast of the day coming up at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep your eyes on the chat board. That's where you'll get to see myself, and then our students, of course, make call-outs going into the market open. You'll see them post their profits, and if decent enough trade, I'll look to ask what their entry points are, just so it helps everyone else out to see where they entered and perhaps for what reason. So be on the lookout for that. The next audio broadcast, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time today, this afternoon. All right, guys. No problem at all. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.